All right, part 2. Okay, so we got this place over here next to Granny and Pa. Such a blessing. Um, we lived here, I don't know, a couple of years, I guess. I don't know, we were doing good. And Zach, I wasn't raised in church, but Zach went to church a little bit as a child. And, he'd been telling me that we need to get in church. And I'm like, you know. And White was coming home, and his little friend is part of our testimony too, because he helped get us in church. But his friend's dad is youth preacher at one of our local churches, and I'm not going to put names in our testimony video, but we are grateful for them. And he was telling Wyatt, come to church, come to church, come to church. And Wyatt was coming home begging. So, let me back up first, because when we started, I was pregnant. So,
Brother Aussie,
I was wanting to get a hysterectomy. And I have some endometriosis issues, and I was dying. And I went to the doctor, and I said, please just let me get a hysterectomy. She said, I really do not want to. You are really too young, and I don't want you to regret it. And she said, if you come back to me in 6 months and you still want it, we'll set you up. I said, okay. Went home, got pregnant. So that right there kind of pulled on me like, well, that was like a little miracle in itself, And so I was like, okay. Anyways, back to, we decided to go to church. And this time I'm feeling the tug. I'm feeling like something pulling on me. I'm getting interested. I'm getting interested in Jesus and curious. I was getting a little curious. So we jumped in, and we were really head first. And we both gave our life to Jesus. We were baptized together. He got to baptize me that morning. And we were doing great. I jumped into the Bible. I got the whole New Testament read. And I had Austin. And then here comes the second part to my testimony. I fell off into postpartum depression, anxiety, and OCD. And I'm not talking about the clean OCD. I'm talking about the repetitive, compulsive thoughts going in my mind. And I would say that this was another one of the at top of the list, hardest times in my life. I couldn't function. I was calling Zach home during the day. I was having panic attacks, and it ended up, I was getting afraid to even go to church. And so I was getting overwhelmed. I was doing a lot of serving, and while dealing with all this in the background, and I got a little bit overwhelmed, and I did take a big break. And but during this, I remember thinking, I was ready to go check myself in somewhere. I was getting desperate and constantly thinking that I was going to die. And going to the emergency room thinking I was going to die. And I hit my knees, and I went through cheer. Let me get in that part. I went through cheer mental health, and they were prescribing me medications, and without even seeing me, they were doing it over the phone. Had me in a mess. Had me in a big old mess. And I don't mean to throw anybody under the bus like that, but be careful with that. But I was in my bedroom, and I was having one of my panic attacks. And, honey, I hit my knees, and I just remember I was squalling, and I just screamed out, God help me, God please help me, because I can't do this anymore. I was really ready to go check myself into a hospital and let them get me straightened out, because I was at my wit's end. I didn't know what else to do. And And now, mind you, the drugs are done at this point. The drugs are behind us. The drinking's behind us. Addiction is behind us at this point. Now I'm dealing with what I covered up with my addiction. So, I ended up going to a wonderful therapist, and God sent her to me, and that she was sent directly from God, and there's no doubt in my mind about that. And she recommended a medication, and she told me, you're going to have to give it a chance, because I was researching my medicine too, and I would get afraid to take it. But God sent her to me, and God gave me enough peace to let that medication get in me, and He changed my life. There is 2 times in my life where I know I had a prayer answered. There's no doubt in my mind. The first time is when I got sent this one. I was so lonely, and I was crying at home, and I hit the floor, and I said, God, please send me somebody. I was so lonely. Now I got him. I love him. He smiles.
Quit now.
But all right. But God really, He heard me, and He answered me. And same with that night, or that day that I hit the floor in my bedroom with my anxiety and my depression and that compulsiveness. And I cried out to God, and God heard me, and He answered me. And there's no doubt in my mind that He answered me. But that was gross.
Sorry,
but I think that was a shorter time period in my life, but I think that was equal to all of the other hardship that I went through, was that anxiety and that depression and feeling so alone. And so now, after I took that break from church and I got my mind right, and we started visiting some more churches, and I've made it back to our home church, and it feels really good. And God just, God let me know that it's okay to take, rest for yourself. Because if you don't, you can't do anything. You can't do His kingdom work for Him if you are in a mess yourself, and you need to. He gave me some time to reflect on a lot of things, and I have a new sense of gratefulness. We don't have much because we lost it all, and so we started back at, I don't know, I was in my late 20s. We had to start completely over. But I'm so grateful for everything that we have and the people that are in our lives now.
Yeah, since we've been here, going on 6 years ago.
Yeah. And it's...
Don't give up.
No, you can't give up. You definitely can't give up. And if you have somebody that you have been through every bit of it with, it makes it all the more special. I don't know what I'd do without this turkey. Whatever he is. He ain't no turkey.
How many nicknames you got for me?
I don't know. Mr. Scrooge.
I ain't Scrooge.
No, he's good. I couldn't have picked a better person. We've been through it. And I feel like He's put me to grooming Himself like a monkey.
Looking all that gray.
Yeah, you got a bunch of it. We're getting old, and I still see people that, that...
I'm still young. What are you talking about?
Oh, my goodness. But I still see people, that are our age that still haven't made it out of this mess. And, I do pray for all of y'all. I do. Every time y'all come across my mind, or for anything, I do stop and pray, even if it's a short prayer. God, here's your name on my behalf. And in the beginning, when I didn't believe, it was other people's prayers that got me out of that. And I see that now. And I'm so grateful for anybody that's ever prayed for me. I've got 30 seconds, guys. But all right, that's the end of that testimony. Maybe Beavis. No, that means I'm Butthead. Maybe Butthead over here. You see that ladybug climbing on the phone? We'll do his own testimony
It's
video.
gonna get in the camera.
Oh, it did. All right. I love you guys. Bye.